Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Prop Party. That's right, we're already in week 6. This is our week 6 prop party. We'll be talking alts, anytime touchdowns, and parlays in just 1 minute. That's right, week 6 prop party. We're talking alts, we're talking anytime touchdowns, we're talking parlays, and I'm, of course, joined by the guys that we talk this through every single week, Tyler and Steve. Tyler, how are you doing? What are you thinking and liking for week 6?
Yeah, I'm good. Coming off a good week last week. We hit all the Brian Thomas alts. We hit a couple other alts, too. The Jaden Reed one came home in one play, so it was a fun week, and I think we're going to get another fun week here. I think there's a lot of good matchups.
Absolutely. That Colts-Jaguars game was just a dream come true. I knew I loved it from the very beginning, and it totally delivered. Didn't realize maybe Michael Pittman was dealing with an injury. Would have just laddered up Josh Downs more and stayed off Michael Pittman. I had a beautiful parlay that would have been pretty sweet, but Michael Pittman set that one back. Didn't know that I needed the Alex Pierce bombs, but yeah, no, I did. I got some ladders, Flacco ladders, BTJ ladders, touchdown in that game. Did get the Pittman touchdown. So that game was just so fun. So absolutely. Steve, how are you feeling? How are you doing? And how are you feeling for week 6?
Doing well. Yeah, we had some fun alts and props last week, and we were close on, like you said, some bigger parlays. And yeah, I think we just keep firing because I think we're on the right teams. And it's going to hit. So yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. We got Jamie in chat. Always good to see you, Jamie. Thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate it. So you guys know the drill. We talk alts, we talk anytime touchdowns, then we go through our favorite parlays. Then we quickly jump over to Thursday Night Football. Of course, we have an NFC West divisional matchup here, Seahawks, 49ers. We'll talk first touchdowns, and we'll build a show, same game parlay. And correct me if I'm wrong, I know we were DMing on our Fanspeak thread that, Tyler, weren't we? We were fairly close to. We had like a sweat because that Thursday night game last week was just an absolute shootout. That was insane. Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, I remember Tyler messaging. Oh, you might be on mute, or you might be frozen.
Yeah. We were sorry. We were very close to last week. We'll get this one home this week.
We're gonna get this one yeah, exactly. We were very close to a Thursday night. Multiple parlays we were very close to last week. Did get some Flacco ladders that we put in Dub Club. As you can see, Dub Club link is across the bottom. Check that out. The guys had a good on the show. They mentioned if you need to see it, to see how to put it in your URL, just screenshot it and check it out. You could also go to the homepage of fanspeak.com. Of course, we have Steve's underdog rankings and other things up on Fanspeak, but Dub Club is up there. Tyler and Spread were 3-1 on the NFL betting card last week. Congrats to them. And I will have their picks up probably later today. So lots of good stuff. And check out the Dub Club. It is a free week and then just $20 a month. So check it out if you're interested. We're up almost 10 units and just keep cooking away. Have hit multiple parlays and intend to get a lot more. So let's go. Yeah, we've got Jamie in chat. We've got Tim, left hand up, Commanders. That's right. Watching his competitive for the first time in decades. It's wild times, Tim. Let me tell you. This week it's just going to be a very exciting Battle of Beltway this week. Jamie, I actually did not do SB. I love Scott Fishbowl. Love the cause they give back to and everything. It's amazing. But I played the last few years, but I did not play this year. And I believe, Steve, you were the same, right?
Yeah.
We were too sunk into our best ball. But he's 9-1 and 106 overall in the Scott Fishbowl 14. So congrats and keep it rolling, Jamie. Keep it rolling. Okay, it's time. Let's talk the DGen stuff. We're not just talking lines here. We're talking alts, ladders, that kind of stuff. Tyler, I'll go to you first. What are you liking for week 6?
Yeah, we'll go right to Atlanta, and we'll go to the guy everyone hates right now, Bijan Robinson. I mean, if there's ever a defense he's going to run good against, it's this Carolina one. His yardage prop is 70.5. I'd bet that all the way up to 100. 100 gets you close to 3-1. I don't hate taking a shot on that. I'd go back to Jaden Reed again this week, playing Arizona. I mean, I'm not sure Romeo Dubes or Christian Watson's going to play. And 3 games with Jordan Love, he's crossed 100 yards. You can get 100 at 4-1 still. You can get 90 at plus 280, 80 at 2-1. So you can still get good numbers on Jaden Reed. And then
Jeez,
the
I
one
didn't
other
realize
one
he's that high for 100. That's amazing.
Yep. And then one other one I was looking at. It's an ugly one, but Jalen Polk for New England. He's got
I have that
very
written
high
down.
separation
I have
rates.
that written down. Yes,
Yeah.
I love when we say the same stuff. Okay, love it. It's like 40 plus. You can get like
Yeah.
what, almost 3-1 or something.
Yeah, you can get 40 plus at about 3-1. You get
Yeah.
those exact numbers pulled up.
It was like
But
285.
yeah,
or
let's see,
or
25, 20, 40 is plus 220, 50 is plus 390, 60 is plus 650, and 70 is 10-1.
Yeah.
With Drake May there, if Drake May's going to throw the ball downfield, Polk can definitely get the 70. So maybe taking some shots on Jalen Polk this week.
Yeah, and sometimes those draft picks that come in together are a little connected, so I kind of like that. I can't remember when he came into that like garbage time of the Jets game. I want to say he targeted Polk a couple times in that game. I mean, it was like 1 or 2 drives, so nothing. It's not like we have much of a sample there. But yeah, do you like the Polk, Steve?
Yeah, no, I do. I like Polk, and the other one in that game. His line's low is Henry. It's just rookie quarterback.
Oh, Henry, yeah.
Definitely like favor tight ends. So I like both of those though. I just think you're just going to have much more functioning offense, passing attempts, and also deeper passes that Brissett wasn't doing.
Well, I was going to go to you guys first and then go, but while we're on the subject, I had May written down. You get 175 plus at plus 110 for May. I just think I get it at like rookie making his first start. Texans are a decent defense. I get all the stuff. However, like he's priced below Watson and just some other just absolute garbage quarterbacks. So I think he's priced below AOC, Watson, and somebody else. And I was like, I think we're undervaluing this a little. What are your guys' take on Drake May at 175 plus?
Yeah, I mean,
I like
game
that.
script is
I
likely
think
favored. Yeah.
You like that too, Tyler?
Yeah, I like that. I think he could throw for 250 in this spot.
Yeah.
There's another rookie quarterback getting a start that I think could have a big game this week. He has no props yet, but Spencer Rattler could definitely light up Tampa Bay's defense.
There you go. I know you've been wanting to see some Spencer Rattler. The injury expedited it, so keep an eye on Spencer Rattler props. I will throw out one other thing about May. How much do we think he's going to rush, early on in his career? So far, the quarterbacks coming in have used their legs a good bit. He ran a ton, averaged, I think, over 50 yards in college per game. You can get some pretty, I want to say 3-1 at May 40 plus rushing. Do you think he'll just escape the pocket, Steve, if he gets in trouble?
Yeah. Oh, and he'll definitely be getting in trouble. I mean, New England's offensive line, literally, they're just pulling guys off practice squads. It's bad. It's really bad. So yeah, he'll get in trouble and he'll have to scramble. But it's also, just the Texans are likely to be up. They're, as much as they'd love to give Ramondre and Gibson a combined 40 carries, that's just not going to happen in this game. So May's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's likely going to need to do it through throwing it and scrambling some. So I don't mind taking a shot at that. Also in the red zone, he's kind of can be a Josh Allen type. So
yeah,
his touchdown prop is probably higher than it should be. It's not great to do any touchdowns for New England, obviously, this year. But if you're looking to get wild in a same game parlay, maybe throw that in there just to really boost the odds. And if it hits, you could walk away with a big profit.
Yeah. So we have Jamie said he thinks they've activated Javon Baker too this week. Mentioned, Kendrick Bourne, but Henry is the reliable one, seeing the targets and likes him to run. Jamie asked a percentage of Tank Bigsby and Tolbert BBM. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I know I'm fairly high on both. I want to say I'm 20% Tolbert and 15% Tank was one of my favorite late picks in July and August. Where are you, Steve?
I'm definitely Tolbert's one of my highest receivers. Probably.
I had
right
him and
20%.
Brandon Cooks, but right now him.
Yeah, no, me too.
He's paying off,
Yeah.
And
then Tank, I probably wasn't that high, but I was over the field. I was probably me 12%.
Sure. Yeah.
10,
No,
12%.
love the Tank Bigsby shares, love the Tolbert shares, and hopefully we've got some winners in here for sure. Our guy Spread, give him a shout out. I don't think he's with us in chat right now, but our guy Spread, weekly winners. You did some weekly winners too, right, Tyler? I know that was your favorite contest. Yeah. So our guy Spread, he did some shows this summer. I know he did with you, with Andrew, Steve. Did multiple shows here on the Fanspeak Network, weekly winners shows, places in the top. I forget, honestly, off the
He's
top
top
of my
20.
head. Top 20. I thought it was good. I was either going to say top 50 or top 25. He was top 20, won 750. Congrats to Spread. That is not easy. That's a big field. But that's what's fun about it is you put that entry in, weekly winners, you have 17 shots, and Spread has already hit in the top 20. So congrats to Spread. So, okay, back to the alts. Tyler, did you have anything else before I move on? I love the ones you mentioned, the Polk, the Reed, Bijan, and that got us talking about May. But anything else that you like on the alt side?
Nope, just those three for now.
Okay, no, I like those a lot. I have them all written down. So, Steve, what are your favorite alts or ladders for week 6?
So one of my favorites is I'm going to go to the Cowboys game. And I think, and look, this is a game I definitely want to do some same game parlays with, just because there's projected a lot of points in this game. We know Dallas gets a ton of yards. They've been having to settle for field goals some more than they would like. But Detroit's secondary is bad. I mean, Geno absolutely shredded them for 400 yards, about 400 yards. We've seen, Baker dice them. We've seen everyone kind of get there through the air. I mean, obviously Cooper Kupp and Stafford week 1. And you can't run on them, and Dallas can't run. So it just works out pretty perfectly. So
perfect funnel. Yeah.
CD obviously starts at 85. I'm going to take him to 100.
Yeah.
Jalen Tolbert, 42.5. No Brandon Cooks. People think they're trained for Devontae Adams. Probably not. But Jalen Tolbert's looked fine this year. So, I'm going to bump him to like 60, 70, ladder him up there as well. And Jake Ferguson's another guy you could do the exact same thing for. I mean, that's where the targets are going to go to these three guys. Dak's going to throw 40 to 45 times this game, and 30 to 35 of those are going to go to those three guys. So I don't mind taking shots on all of them. And Lamb and Tolbert are my favorite, but I think Ferguson's just as fine as well.
Yeah, no, I like the whole entire Dallas passing game. I said that on the show this morning. You can't, like what you just said, can't run in Detroit. Just love the passing game and love all of Dak, Lamb, Tolbert, Ferguson. What do you think about Dak 300 plus? I mean, it's high, but I mean, they got to do it. If they want any shot, he's got to be just, probably passing over 40 times. And
it obviously didn't get there in that Giants game, but we see if they're playing from behind, the Ravens, the Steelers, which even wasn't a high scoring game, he's just having to chuck it. So
yeah, he ended up with what, 325 in that game?
340, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew I altered him live and got like 300 and 325 live in that game. And because I was like, and actually Dow did get some action, but I was like, he has to just keep chucking, and he did. And so, yeah, I think you might as well get that and pay attention to what live lines look like, because if it's just looking like it's like a shootout, it could be a situation like what Geno Smith was against Detroit 2 weeks ago, the last time we saw Detroit. So like that, like all the Dallas stuff, Steve. Anything else you got?
Next one, I'm going to go to the Battle of the Beltway, the Washington Ravens game. As much as I love Derrick Henry, and I'm definitely going to take him to 100. The one that I'm going to focus on is Zay Flowers. I think people think because of last week, Washington secondary is suddenly fixed. I think that's more Deshaun Watson's just bad, like really bad. I mean, Amari Cooper was getting open, Jerry Jeudy was getting open. Watson just couldn't find him. So yeah, I think Zay Flowers, as we've seen in these high scoring games like the Chiefs, like last week, Zay Flowers plays. He gets a lot of targets. It's in the games where they get big leads like Buffalo and even Dallas, he didn't do as much. But
yeah, then they get really run heavy, Lamar and Henry to combine. Yeah.
But I do think Washington has shown their ability to at least, probably keep this close. And I think, Zay Flowers is going to be involved. So right now on FanDuel, they don't have like alt props, but his line is 54.5.
Yeah, they did on DraftKings, so you get plus money at 60 plus.
Yeah, so exactly. I'd probably take it 60, 70. I don't think you need to go up to 100, but I'd take it up a couple ladders for sure. And you could also do it from
I was
receptions.
going to say, do you prefer receptions with him? Because sometimes his is lower A dot.
Yeah,
But against Washington, I don't know.
Yeah, against Washington, I don't necessarily think it matters that much because giving up a lot of yards after the catch, as we've seen as well. And I just think after the last couple of weeks, people think because Kyler had a bad week and of course Watson had a bad week, I don't think Washington's defense is suddenly fixed. I think Lamar is going to expose it quite a bit, both with his legs and through the air. So I just like Zay Flowers. And then the final alt that I'm looking at, well, actually two. One, there's no line for it, which shocks me, I guess, because the quarterbacks aren't set yet. But the coach speak around Calvin Ridley this week has been incredible. And look, I know people don't love to trust Will Levis, but people didn't love to trust Justin Fields, and he absolutely shredded the Colts defense. People thought Trevor Lawrence was the biggest bust of all time through the first 4 weeks. Last week, he absolutely shredded this Colts defense.
Yeah, the Colts, it's bad. It is just like a printing press to play the quarterback and receivers against the Colts. Yeah.
And so Ridley, and we saw Levis last year, like have a couple games where he just aired out. Ridley plays that role. I mean, last year was Hopkins. This year it's probably Ridley. That's the role for Ridley. And we've seen these deep threat receivers, the
boundary receivers like BTJ last week. Yeah.
Like Pickens, like BTJ, Odunze, and more. It doesn't matter. Like Nico, obviously week one, just they're getting absolutely killed by these types of receivers. So I'll be interested to see what the line is, but I'm guessing it's going to be artificially
up on DK.
low.
It's 50 plus.
Yeah, I mean exactly. So I'm taking that up.
You could take a big ladder with that.
Yeah.
If you
I mean, look, we just talked about at the top of the show what that did for Brian Thomas, and it's not as if Trevor Lawrence and the Jags were slinging the ball well the first 4 weeks. Like their completion percentage, all those metrics were not good going in, and then they play the Colts and they look amazing. So
yeah. I like all those guys, and I had kind of like tailed on and asked about May. I like May, passing, rushing. I like Dak. One that you had kind of mentioned in the Ravens game, I do still like Henry. I think Henry is still at 90. Yeah, we put that on the sheet. We got bailed out with that late overtime run, but I mean, it can happen, or whether it happens early, whether it happens late. It's from start to finish of the game. You have a chance for him to break a long one. That's all you need. Plus, he should get the volume. So 90 plus, you can get plus odds with Henry. And the last, I'll mention two other things. One, you can look at alts in the London game. Chicago is a very, very, very tough defense, but you're getting Brian Thomas Jr. He's just emerged. His target share is going up each and every week, and usage. So he's emerged as like the first read target now for Lawrence, and you can get him plus odds at 60 plus. So I don't think that's a lot to ask, even against a very tough defense. And then you've got a very easy matchup for the Chicago side. Now, Chicago side burned me 2 weeks ago against the Rams. Thought that was a good matchup. They burned me. I had multiple parlays that fell short, and then the DJ Moore alts that fell short. But they obviously exploded last week against Carolina, which most people do. That's why Tyler mentioned Bijan, and I'll mention another one, Falcon, in a minute. But they exploded last week. Show they got it in them. Going against the Jaguars defense, again, we saw what Flacco and the Colts did to the Jaguars defense. You can, just like you can pass all over the Colts, you can pass all over the Jaguars. So yeah, I like DJ Moore 70 plus in the like those two in the London game. And finally, I'll mention pick your Lions running back. Both you're getting plus odds at 60 plus rushing yards. We just know when the Lions get control, they just pound it in the ground with these two. And it's pretty much, the bummer is, it's pretty much totally, it's like a 50-50 split. But 60 plus for each of them, it's not crazy to assume there's going to be over 125, 30 rushing yards in this game, and likely coming from the two of them. So I don't mind, pick one of them. You can get plus odds at 60 plus for each of them. So I think that covers it. So that's the alts. Let's check in with chat really quick. Jamie says, I don't like the BTA-TJ matchup this week, which I do agree, staying away from him, but last week won his over 100 yards and touchdown. Love it. Yeah, we had him alted up to 100, had his anytime touchdown on the sheet, got that. But as Jamie mentioned, yes, the reverse side of that, DJ Moore and Caleb have a great matchup. So like that you're taking the over there. And yeah, I have to agree with Tim. I think Watson's just checked out of football, doesn't want to be on the field anymore. They should have kept Flacco. And damn it, I wish Richardson wasn't starting this week. I just want more Joe Flacco in our lives. It just brings so much joy and so much, easy low-hanging fruit, quite honestly. Okay, anytime touchdowns. And again, all the ones that we land on for sure that we're betting, we will be putting on the Dub Club sheet that goes out every Saturday. We, of course, send it out every game day, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and then we send out the full list of bets we're betting individually on Saturday. So check that out, free week at the link on the bottom. So now let's talk anytime touchdowns. Tyler, what do you have for me as your favorite anytime touchdowns this week?
Yeah, I got a couple, and we'll start with the London game. I think Rome Odunze's allowed to get in the end zone versus this Jags defense. I mean, he had 6 targets last game. Keenan Allen doesn't seem to be the same player he once was.
Yeah.
And this is a spot where he could definitely catch a deep ball and run it into the end zone. So plus 280, love that.
Ooh,
another one I like in that Commanders-Ravens game. Everyone seems to have thrown Likely in the trash. I mean, I know Mark Andrews hasn't done anything and Likely's been quiet, but Likely could explode at any moment. What better spot than against this Washington defense? I think he can definitely find the end zone at 3-1. And everyone's going to want to target. I know they want to target the passing game, and I think Zay Flowers has a big game. But if it's not Zay Flowers, it probably is Likely in the passing game for Baltimore.
Right.
So
no, his usage is better than Andrews. Yeah.
Yeah, and then one other one, just Tank Dell plus 185. He's got to throw the ball to someone up there, and they're not going to be able to run the ball with no Joe Mixon. So it's got to go somewhere.
Did Joe Mixon practice today, or was it? No, it's Dameon Pierce that's likely going to play.
Dameon Pierce is the one that's practicing.
Okay, so Joe Mixon still looks like I feel like I swear to God I saw something on Twitter, but it's just like we're just like taking in so much information, especially these last days of practice. And I was like, did I see something on Joe Mixon practicing? But I don't. I think it looks likely he holds out one more week. So, anyways, okay, so Tank Dell at 185 like that. Yeah, it's got to go to somebody. So I mean, definitely think they're scoring and winning that game for sure. So anyways, any other ones that you have, Tyler? I like those 3 though.
Yeah, just those 3 for me.
Okay,
like that a lot. Steve, what do you got for your week 6 anytime touchdowns?
So I'm going to start back with the Cowboys-Lions game. Part of the reason I wasn't pushing Ferguson as much is I'm going to take him for the anytime touchdown.
Nice.
Plus 230 there. Detroit, again, not only is their secondary struggling, but a lot of the interior of their secondary seems to be their true weak point. And I think they're going to struggle with a guy like Ferguson. And in the red zone, I think they are going to try and take away Lamb, and it's going to be Ferguson is the most likely beneficiary. Next guy that I will point to is, which is tough because some of these games are a bit ugly, but one game that is not, to me, is this Packers-Cardinals game. Mm-hmm. Tyler talked about Jaden Reed as the just stud right there. I'm going to go with James Conner plus 100. I like
found
Reed.
him at easy money. Yeah, I found him at minus 105 somewhere. If he's plus 100, that's awesome.
He's plus 100 on FanDuel.
Okay.
I like Reed and Josh Jacobs are both minus 125. But James Conner, even money. This guy, he's the focal point of the offense. Also, Green Bay has struggled against the run. We've seen, Aaron Jones got them a couple weeks ago. We saw Kyron get them last week. Week 1, obviously Barkley was just tearing through them, and especially these running backs who do both, who catch and receive and run. And that's Conner. So I like that. And then the final, the final touchdown that I will point to and bring up to get the exact odds is, going to the Bengals game, Bengals-Giants game. Mm-hmm. And they don't have the touchdowns anymore. I saw it earlier. But yeah, I think I want this Bengals passing offense. Joe Burrow, look, this is must win. We all know this. But their offense has been so efficient. I think that continues against this Giants defense. Chase or Burrow, I don't see the odds anymore. I saw it earlier. Or maybe I was looking on DK. Maybe that was it. But
yeah, it's up on D. I believe it's up on DK.
So Chase is obviously the more minus guy, but give me Higgins. I mean, we saw last week 2 tuds.
Yeah. Higgins is plus 110. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Higgins, and I mean, honestly, this is a same game parlay. We'll probably take touchdowns for both because I think they're going to need to score often in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I like that a lot. Okay, I will add. I like your guys that you have out there. I will add. I mean, obviously, I like guys like Lamb and other running backs that are juiced and stuff. But as far as the plus odds, anytime touchdowns, I'll throw out AJ Brown at plus 140 coming back. I think that's the lowest, the highest number we're going to get on an AJ Brown anytime touchdown, as long as he is fully healthy. Bucky Irving plus 175. Rashad White's banged up. We know that Bucks should dominate that game likely. And, if either Rashad White's banged up and Bucky Irving's getting more of the workload, or if you want to grab the number now and maybe you get lucky and White gets ruled out, plus 175 for getting more of the kind of high leverage touches. I like that. And then two more. Drake London, we saw he's a first read look for, obviously I like Bijan, he's juiced, but Drake London, you're getting a plus 115, and obviously he's a first look read for Cousins. We saw he got the first touchdown last week, so like going back to that. And then finally, you talked about him already. Let's kind of go to it in both markets here and push all the chips in. Calvin Ridley is plus 215 to score a touchdown. So, again, we just saw what this Colts defense, we're seeing now which defenses you really want to hammer, especially at certain positions, and you just can attack this Colts defense secondary. So I like that a lot. Okay, guys, parlays before we talk about Thursday night touchdown. I saw that really quick with Jamie. I saw that Derrick Henry, his anytime touchdown is juiced to like minus 290, but you gotta love it though. And then Jamie asked, what do you think about the strategy? Bet $100 on minus 500 every week until week 17. After 11 weeks, reinvest both your winnings and the initial 100. You would win 743. I'd never have done those kind of creative things or ladder challenges, but I know a lot of people are. Hey, there's so many different markets. There's so many different ways that you can attack making profitable plus EV bets in a fun way. So whatever way, my favorite way is laddering these alts, probably is like my favorite way, or being able to do some kind of anytime touchdown parlay. But yeah, find the way that works for you to get the plus EV, to get the profit, and go for it. So anyways, favorite parlays of the week, whether it's same game, whether it's putting together a few players you like. What do you got for me, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm going to go do a same game in the Detroit-Dallas game.
Ooh, I like it.
We're going to go Amon-Ra.
We could probably build 3 different ones. We all love that.
Oh, yeah, we could build them all day in this game. But Amon-Ra over 73.5 receiving yards. Mm-hmm. CD over 85.5 receiving yards. Montgomery touchdown and Rico Dowdle under 43.5 rushing yards. And that gets you 9-1.
Ooh, I like the Rico under too. Okay, 9-1. Oh, I like that one a lot. Steve, do you have a Dallas, Detroit? Because I'm sure we could come up with 3 of them.
Oh, I definitely could go Dallas, Detroit. But no, mine is going to be a same game parlay of the Battle of the Beltway.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with Derrick Henry over 82.5 rushing.
Yep.
Next is I'm going to go with what I said earlier, Zay Flowers. I'm going to take right now I'm on FanDuel. They don't have the alts, so I'm just going to have it at the over 54.5. I think you could alt it up a little bit if you wanted to get fun. And then on the flip side, I am going to go. One thing I do kind of like is both of these quarterbacks, because of their rushing prowess, their overs are very low. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels over of 224. I know it seems scary.
It's a low number, though. Yeah.
But it's such a low number. And the Ravens, that's where you're not going to run on them. And I don't even think he'll be able to run on them as much as he has. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to pair that with Zach Ertz over 25.5.
Okay. I like that. So what total odds do you get on that one?
Plus 845.
Nice. I'm going to go for some lower hanging fruit of receivers that I think are priced way too low, and we spoke of a couple of them, so I just got to find them as I'm grabbing them. So one is Jalen Polk 40 plus receiving yards is 220. I mean, again, I'm just leaning into the Drake May upgrade there and being a little more functional. Let me just give me one more minute to find the other two. I have two more. Just scrolling through here, DraftKings here. Okay, obviously the other one is Calvin Ridley. I'm going to go 70 plus to 80, sticking to get some fun odds on this one. And then Jalen Tolbert is my third and final one. These are just guys that are priced pretty low and you don't have to get a big number out there for them. So I'll go 60 plus Jalen Tolbert. So you could get 36 to 1. You could even bump down the Ridley one, but 40 plus Jalen Polk, 70 plus Calvin Ridley, or 60 plus would probably drop down just slightly to 30, 25 to 1, something like that. And then 60 plus Jalen Tolbert. Again, just kind of some lower hanging fruit on these receivers, kind of like that. We have Reek and Chat, good to see you. 2 touchdown picks. Well, obviously Derrick Henry would probably be the lowest hanging fruit of that, so I don't hate that. Any other 2 touchdowns that you think could happen, but you could get maybe a little better number on than Derrick Henry? Steve, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, it's tough because there's a lot of lower lines, but I will point to the Lions-Cowboys game. I'm going to go 2 touchdowns on either Montgomery or Gibbs. It's going to be
one
very
of them,
similar numbers, but
yeah,
I would take 2 touchdowns on one of them. You could also do CD, but I'd probably lean to taking one of the Lions running backs.
Yeah, I don't mind CD either. Tyler, any 2 touchdown love anywhere?
I don't hate Josh Jacobs at plus 480 against the Cardinals. I mean, they get in the red zone, they get close to the end zone a couple of times. He could definitely pound 2 in. And then J.K. Dobbins 2 plus is plus 950.
Wow. Yeah.
And he can't fall in the box twice against Denver with that offensive line in front of him and Joe Alt back.
Yeah, they should be healthy coming off the bye.
Healthy coming off the bye, and you certainly aren't going to lean into throwing against Patrick Surtain in that secondary. So we know they like to be run heavy anyways. So no, I don't mind either. It was like that a lot. Jacobs was due for some positive touchdown regression. Finally got in once, but would not shock me if he got in twice this week at all. So I like those. All right, we got some fun alts, anytime touchdowns, parlays. We threw out a couple 2-tud picks, and this will again, all of our favorites will be in Dub Club week for free in the link below or on fanspeak.com. Click the ad at the very top. That takes you right there for a free week. So check that out. All right, now guys, it's time to talk Thursday night football, NFC West matchup, Seahawks, 49ers, both coming off losses, both got to get right. It is in Seattle. I don't know. I mean, 49ers just can't get it into the end zone. I feel like they finally do here and get the win. How do you see this game going, Tyler?
Yeah, I think San Fran comes out and wins this game. I'm not 100% sure I put my money where my mouth is with San Francisco, though, because I'm not sure that they are just going to bounce back and they're going to be the team we thought they've been the last couple of years. Like, we've thought that for the last 3 weeks, and they just haven't bounced back to win these games and look dominant. Seattle, on the other hand, like, everyone thought they were going to walk through the Giants, and they just looked like a completely different team. Like, if that team that shows up to play the Giants, San Fran probably does turn it around and blow this team out. But I don't think that team's going to show up. I think you're going to get effort out of Seattle. I think their injury report's going to be a little cleaner on their defense. I think I'm just going to target props in this one. I already did one same-game parlay. I did Debo over 57.5, receiving, Lockett over 42.5, and Mason over 82.5. And that gets you 7 to 1. I really like that.
I like that a lot.
I think that's how I'm going to target this game. I'm going to target this game through Debo and through these Seattle wide receivers and just not pick a winner. Maybe bet something live once you see something that you like in the game. But my favorite play is Debo's receiving yards. Lean San Fran wins the game, but not going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, we know that I like to lean into the props more anyway. So I was already there with you, and I totally agree. And I love that parlay that you put together. Before we go to Steve, we have Reek that says, appreciate you all. We appreciate you being in here. Be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit the notifications. We are doing shows, whether it's Underdog Dailies, DFS, lots of sports betting shows. We are doing them every single weekday, 5 days a week, and usually multiple of them. We'll have 2 tomorrow, Wagers with Friends at 5 o'clock with Nez from the Badge Bros, and then the guys, Andrew and Justin, DJ and Daz at 9:30 p.m. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe and keep checking us out. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll keep giving the two Tud picks out. Steve, what do you like in this game before we actually get to some first touchdown same game parlay talk?
Yeah, so I mean, I do like San Francisco. I do agree with Tyler. Like, we are talking a short week game. We are talking in Seattle, which is always tougher to play at. But overall, I like San Francisco. I think they have more talent. Seattle's getting a little healthier, but I just think so. So is San Francisco, as some of their guys like Debo and Kittle, who missed some time, are probably getting more acclimated. As is Ayuk, who of course missed all of off season. So I think it'll be close. I don't really love the over/under in this game, and so I'm going to probably just do San Francisco money line, if anything. And so I don't love it. The 3.5 scares me because I could see them just winning by a field goal. So if I do anything from that side, it'll probably just be San Francisco money line. But in terms of what I like, I agree with Tyler. Like, there's a lot of props. We know 49ers are going to run the ball, and it's going to be almost all Jordan Mason. We know when they throw the ball, it's a little bit more clunky, but I like Kittle a lot from that side. And then from the Seattle side, yes, they're talking about running the ball more, and Kenneth Walker is obviously awesome. I mean, he's just a great playmaker. But Seattle has the highest pass rate over expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Geno is probably going to chuck the ball 40 times in this game. I think you can take your shot at any of the three receivers, and also Kenneth Walker out of the backfield.
Yeah, I posted in Dove Club one of the picks. Spoiler alert! Is what Steve just said. Highest pass rate in the NFL over expectation is the Seahawks. He's outside of that first game against Denver, which we've now seen is one of the toughest defenses in the league. Geno is blowing past his number, way over 250. So we put 250 plus. He's going way past that in kind of any game script since that very first game. They are passing at an enormous clip. He's throwing between 35 to 45 times a game. So I like him to just, but then I got so nervous. I saw the coach speak thing with like the coach wears a hat, run the damn ball. And, a lot of Kenneth Walker coach speak. So, but I still think, like Steve said, game script and what they do best and what their kind of MO is they pass at a high clip. So I'm leaning into that, and Geno's still going over his yards. But again, everything's in Dub Club. But let's build a same game parlay. But first, who gets in the end zone first tonight, Tyler? Who's your pick?
Debo Samuel.
Okay, Debo. What is he at?
If you look back at the way he plays in this matchup, he dominates this team every time he plays them.
Yeah, Steve. When you had that Thanksgiving win, it was like the hammer game was the Seattle 49ers game, correct? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I needed Debo. That's why I didn't win more.
No, he did well. I thought you were sweating out not having Debo. Or
exactly. I needed Debo if I had Debo in my lineup over CeeDee Lamb, I would have won a lot more.
Oh, okay. That's right. You were sweating out Debo because you didn't have it. Yes, but he crushed in that game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so Tyler likes Debo to get in the end zone first. Steve, who do you have as our first scorer tonight?
I'm going to still go San Francisco, and I'm going to go George Kittle. He's just, anytime they get near the red zone, he's been their guy.
He's like 9 red zone targets already.
And, I just think Seattle is very exploitable in the middle of the field, and that's why Debo is such a great play also. Like, their outside corners are big and physical, and they maybe slow down Brandon Ayuk, slow down Juwan Jennings, but I think Debo and Kittle are just going to eat in the middle. Give me Kittle plus 1,000, so 10-1 on your money there for a first touchdown.
Yeah. Tim says Shanahan will will his team to victory. We got a long shot. Mike says Kyle Juszczyk TD, and then long shot is AJ Barner.
The tight end, backup tight end for Seattle.
Okay.
He's gotten some red zone looks. He got a touchdown in that Detroit game.
Well, there you go. I like it. Thank
rookie
you.
From Michigan.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you joining us. Okay. So my first touchdown, of course, could go either running backs, but you're getting either 4-1 or like 6-1, something like that. I'm gonna go the alpha on the the Seahawks, his main target is still DK Metcalf. He has the most air yard share. I think like 24% target share. You're getting 10-1 there. I do think it's likely the 49ers score first. It could be one of the running backs, but I'll take a shot on DK Metcalf at 10-1. I don't mind that. Okay, so show same game parlay time, guys. Tyler, any leg you can pick. What is your favorite leg of this game?
We'll just stick with the theme. Give me Debo over 55.5 receiving yards.
Receiving. Okay, nice. Let me grab that. All right, so we've got Debo over 55.5. Okay, Steve, what do you got?
I'm gonna stick with the theme also, and go George Kittle, and now just take his anytime touchdown.
Okay, all
Given
right.
his red zone usage,
All right, let me grab that. And I'm going to do what I posted on Twitter today. And it's a little bit lower hanging fruit here. He's sailed past it the last 2 games. He's averaging like 4 catches a game in his 3 or 4 games he's played. Everybody thinks that Charbonnet gets all the passing work, but Kenneth Walker's been much more involved in the passing game, running a route on 50% of the routes. And like I said, getting about 4 catches a game in the 3 or 4 games that he was active. So you can get plus odds on Kenneth Walker, 25 plus receiving yards. We know how explosive he is. This may only take 1 or 2. So we've got Debo over 55.5. George Kittle gets in the end zone. Kenneth Walker, 25 plus receiving yards. You got plus 867 on FanDuel. I like that. I'll tweet that out after this. But yeah, like that, guys. This was fun, as it always is. Thank you guys so much for joining us in chat. Again, all these bets we will whittle down to our favorites that we're betting individually, put them in Dub Club by Saturday, and have plenty of other fun parlays and such too. But we will have our individual alts, ladders, anytime touchdowns in Dub Club. Check that out. Week for free. Link at the bottom or on Fanspeak. Tyler, final thoughts for this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. I think we identified some winners. I think we're going to get off to a nice start. I think at this Thursday night game is going to treat us well tonight.
All right. I like that. God, I hope so. I had to tell Tyler and chat, Steve knows, I had multiple slips the other night. Like I hit multiple individual bets, some that we put on Dub Club, like, what was it? Kelsey's over, obviously 60 or 70. And then, what was the other one, Steve? Oh, Kamara receiving, stuff like that. So but then I had multiple slips incorporating those with like 1 or 2 other things. And I missed like 5 slips by and shame on me for having him in every single one of these. But Steve, I'm blanking on Worthy needed 50 plus receiving yards. He had like a bomb that didn't connect, a bomb that got pass interference, and he was wide open one time that Mahomes did not throw to him. So I was so bummed about that. So yes, hopefully they the Thursday night guys treat us better and we get home. We got Pat in chat. It's good to see. Always good to see the Fancy Dog Pound. Good to see you, Pat. And Jamie says, I believe Walker played on 50% of teams' dropbacks. That is true. Just highlighted that when I was doing notes for this game last night. So you nailed it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Steve, final thoughts for this week.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we could be off to a good start tonight. I also, as talked a little bit, I like the Sunday game for some small same game parlays as well, especially those Bears receivers. But overall, I think we highlighted some of the games to really target the Battle of the Beltways, the Dallas-Detroit game, the Green Bay, Arizona. Those are the ones I'm really targeting in all formats, bets, props, DFS. And
you could do it in Atlanta only too, because everybody's getting there against Carolina.
Yeah. So, again, pick your spots, and that is probably going to pay off. So,
absolutely,
I think it will be another good week.
Yes, well, I'm with the guys. I feel good about tonight. I feel good about this week. We appreciate you joining us. So good luck in week 6. Thank you for joining us. For Steve, for Tyler, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.